So with this idea, what you're doing is you're taking one idea and you're playing it spanned over 3 different octaves, and it sounds quite impressive that way. And we're only doing hammer-ons and pull-offs, so we're not picking everything at this point. So what you're doing, again, the shape would be 3-5-7 twice. And then we'd move up to the octave, which would be 5-7-9 twice. And then what we're going to do is we're going to move to 8th fret of the 2nd string. We're going to do the same thing twice. So you have it. Okay? Now when we get to the top of that thing, we may wind up wanting to move up, for instance. Right? Or move into one of our other licks, for instance. So we might move into that lick. So it gives it more of a blues effect when we get up there with our blue note right there. Okay, so with this idea, it's a bit more diatonic in nature, although we're really not looking at it as do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. We're just looking at it as a cool speed lick to be able to do. And what you're doing is you're hammering twice. So again, going back to the thing we talked about earlier, it's really important that you make sure you practice those hammer-ons and pull-offs a lot. Now, as every other lick that we've talked about, it's important to make sure that you're varietizing the things that you're learning. Instead of just learning the lick that's on the tab, make sure you look at all the things that you could do with it. For instance, if I took just this first part here and did it a few times. Played it backwards or whatever it was I wanted to do with it. So it's really this kind of Satriani idea of being able to develop more of a hammer-on pull-off concept when you're playing. Because we're playing it over 3 different spaces on the fretboard, we usually call that a pattern or a sequence, because we're moving it around, where you could stay in one spot, but because we're taking that same idea and just moving it in different places, you're sequencing it. You're playing it all over the fretboard. So it makes the lick a little longer. So instead of just having stock licks where you're sitting here, like we have a number of those, obviously. So you're sitting in this one spot. Or our blues licks if we're coming up. You could drop into. And what's really great about those licks is that it moves you into another position on the fretboard. That's what I like about sequence licks, is instead of staying in one spot, I can move up, and let's say I head up. I can move into something else somewhere else on the fretboard. So they work really nice for that. Okay? So we're trying to get used to being able to play it all the way up and then turn around and do pull-offs all the way down. Kind of a big jump. Okay? So another really great lick to learn how to play.